All right, so the main purpose of this video is to talk about the entrepreneur's mindset. Um, what I have found in over 20 years of doing this is that there are a lot of people who have these myths about entrepreneurs, like, oh, they know what they're doing, or they have a plan and they don't make mistakes. It's easy for them to get money, and these types of myths, these types of rumors, urban legends, or corporate legends, or whatever, um, are not helpful to real life entrepreneurs, because your mindset is going to be one of your strongest weapons as you move forward in your entrepreneurial journey. So protecting your mind, and really focusing in on the things that truly matter. And what I'd like to do in the next little while is to talk about some of the things that I've learned over the course of my life, and to kind of share some of that knowledge with you. All right. There are two general themes about how money should play into business operations. And one is that money is just a tool to achieve your goals. Like, it don't get so caught up in the money that you miss an opportunity to achieve your goal, because you're so focused on the money as a symbol that you lose the opportunity for success. The other side of that idea is that money is the lifeblood of your business, meaning that if your cash flow is not going well, if the money doesn't get into your business, move through your business and out of your business to buy supplies and pay people, if that does not happen quickly and regularly, it is like if the blood in your body stopped moving. Whenever you have a disruption in the flow of money in your business, it's like if your body had a disruption in the flow of its blood. So think about those two things. It seems like those are opposites, and they are, but they're both necessary. It's like a balancing test. You need to realize that money is a tool to achieve the goal, so you always should stay focused on the goal, but also realize that without money, you won't be able to achieve your business goals. So finding a balance between how much emphasis you put on money and how much emphasis you put on the resources that money can buy. And a quick example: there was a young lady who wanted me to help her put together a loan package so she could get a small loan of about $3,000, I think it was. And she was telling me that she needed it because she needed to secure a space, because she had just been granted a government contract, and she found a space that worked, and she was ready she needed the money so she could move in before somebody else took the space. I said, well, okay, give me a second, but what do you tell me about the space? And she wanted to hurry up and get to the application so she could get the money. But I convinced her to have a conversation with me about how she was going to use the money and what the plan was for. And what we realized is that she didn't need the whole office space. So what she shared is that she didn't need the whole office space. She just needed a conference room that fit about 20 people, that was available between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. 5 days a week. That's it. She said that's all she needed, but she had to get the whole space to get it. And I told her that at the time I was working for an organization that had a conference room that we only used in the afternoon and evenings. And so I was able to let her use that conference room for free. So it saved her the $3,000. Now, here's the thing. If I had just listened to her and just helped her fill out loan packages or what have you, so that she can just get that money and focus exclusively on the money, then she would have been $3,000 more in debt. Her profit would have went down another $3,000. But in this way, she was able to utilize the space and save some money. So again, understand the role that money has, but also realize that money is not the goal by itself. The next thing that I recommend is fixating on the 168 hours that you have in a week. Everybody has 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 168 hours. Now, a lot of times people talk about money being the most finite resource that business owners have, but it's not. It's time. Because if you have a good business plan, if you have some rich relatives or some rich supporters, they can give you more money. But no matter what else happens, they will not be able to give you more time. especially as you are a starting entrepreneur or trying to scale, you will realize that planning helps to reduce the amount of time that you spend because you don't have time to waste. Time is money, time is resources, time is what you need because you're leading an organization. That is where you need to fixate. You need to figure out, hey, how many hours do I need to sleep? How many hours do I need to spend on this project, that project, the other project? How many hours do I have? Because each hour that you spend doing one thing is an hour that you can't spend doing something else. So if you spend an hour spending money, that also means that that's an hour that you're not out making money. So making sure that you are fixating on what you do with your time is going to help lead you to greater success. The job of solopreneurs and micro enterprises, and solopreneurs are those businesses that are really just run by one person, whether it's an LLC, a sole proprietor, or a corporation even. If it's only run by one person, you're a solopreneur. Micro enterprises are businesses that maybe have up to about 7 to 10 employees. But either way, the job of those organizations, those businesses, is to predict the future and then get themselves in the pathway to that future to their benefit. So what I mean by that is, as a as a small business, as a micropreneur, I mean, as a micro enterprise or a solopreneur, you want to try to figure out what your customer is going to need in the future, and then put yourself in a position so that you are there with what they need at the right time. That is your job, to figure out how the world is going to work, or how your customer is going to move, or how the prices are going to move. You are always trying to figure out how to get ahead. And sometimes what getting ahead means is that understanding that your customers are going to want comfort. They're going to want the sameness. So making sure that as part of your business plan is that you continue to do the same thing with them every time. But it is going to be about the customer. You're trying to predict what their future is going to be because they are the ones who give you money. That leads me into the business algorithm. Over my time, I realized that the business algorithm is simple but not easy. You do it's plus the function of what it is that you need to do to get money out of their pocket and put it into yours. That is all of business. Everything else is trying to define those variables. What is it that you need to do? You need to develop some business savvy, or a business plan or business engagement to really help them understand how you benefit them, so they'll take the money out of your pocket. But that's it. What do you have to do what do you have to do to get them to take money out of their pocket and put it into yours? There is a difference between hustling and building a business. And it's important to understand, from my vantage point, I have not seen hustlers build anything. Hustlers tend to be really great salespeople. They are the people who move really well, really fast. They can get things done. They are out always grinding, always trying to sell stuff. They're not really planning for things. They may plan for the short period, the short term, but they aren't really trying to build anything. They're moving things, moving. I call this when you are ready to build. I call it ex post opus. That is Latin for after the work. After you put in work as a hustler, after you learn what your customers need, because that's one of the things hustlers do. They can tell you what somebody needs. They can tell you how to put in the work. They can tell you what they do, but they are not necessarily good at pulling the resources together to build a system, because that's how you build a business. You create a system that works over time. And so when you get to the point where hustling is just not enough anymore, it's time to stop and build the business. Ex post opus, after the work, after the hustle, after that, it is time to build the business. And one of the things that we're going to help you in this program is figure out, how do you even make the plan